Then we get to number 8, and this says the students, normally a quick-witted and blank group, were blanked by the confounding intricacy of Joyce's novel. So the first blank here is really easy to predict because quick-witted is separated by a positive trigger and. So we know that that first blank is going to be something similar to quick-witted. So like smart, clever, something positive. Then the second part of this sentence is a little more tricky because it says they were blanked by the confounding intricacy. So you might not know confounding, you may not know intricacy, but if they're smart, since we have a contrast trigger, we automatically know that they're kind of stumped by something. We can't figure it out. So this is going to be negative along the lines of stumped or confused. So looking at the second blank first, edify. Probably have never heard that before, so that gets a mystery. Dumbfounded. That definitely works with stumped or confused, so that gets a check. Befuddled. Maybe you've never heard of this, but the tonality of that, the way it sounds to us, sounds like we're confused. So that gets a check. Mollify. You probably don't know, but you definitely should remember this and put this in your vocab journal because it's a huge, huge SAT word. Unleash. Now that's just random. It doesn't have anything to do with confused, so that's out. So now we move over to the first blank. And the first choice says clever, which is exactly what we need, so that works. Then we have obtuse, which is actually what we would call a false friend. You have seen obtuse in your math class referring to angles greater than 90 degrees, but you're probably a bit confused as to why it's here. I'm going to put it in as a mystery because the meaning that they are talking about here is not the meaning that you're thinking in your math class. Astute, another amazing SAT word that you probably don't know, but you will. And D is malevolent. Maybe you don't know this. So this is basically the first question we've come to where we've only been able to get rid of one, because this is chock full of hard words. So now what we're going to do is break them down into some of their roots. So starting with this question, the first thing we want to do is realize that we are going to get rid of D. Now, D could be the right answer, but in terms of probability, we know that we're 50% right here, 50% right there, 50% right there, and here we have no clue. So just for sheer probability's sake, we got to get rid of D. However, you definitely need to know these two words. Mollify means to soothe or ease. It means to calm down. Definitely is not what we need here, but it's a great word to remember. Malevolent. That is really bad. It's the opposite of benevolent. Now, this is where your language classes will come in handy. Because if you're taking any of the Romance languages like Spanish, French, or Italian, or Latin, if your school offers it, you will know what these roots mean. Mal means bad, and bene, or bien, or bon, they all mean really great things. So if you ever see this as the prefix of a word like benefit, beneficial, benevolent, you know that it's a positive word. Mal, like malign, malevolent, these are all negative. So in this case, malevolent does not fit in with smart. So we got rid of that. You would have gotten rid of it anyway because it has two mysteries, but you should really know those words. Then we're down to A, B, and C. So looking at some of these words. Edify in answer choice A has the prefix ed. Now if you're thinking about what we're doing here, this is education. Edify is a similar form of educate. So if they're stumped, it's probably not going to mean confused. So we can get rid of that one. Then we get to B, which is obtuse, which you might have actually even eliminated because you know of it as the mathematical definition, which would leave you with C, which is actually our answer. Now, astute and obtuse are also fantastic SAT words. Astute means extremely smart and clever, whereas obtuse, in addition to its mathematical meaning, also means someone who is lacking in common sense, which clearly wouldn't go along with the smart, clever prediction we made. So that is chock full of those words. You should take a moment right now and write down those definitions in your vocab journal.